Sonic, the heart of your system.
Hello, BRIONY here from Kit Guru, and in this video I'm taking a look at the Razer RAIJU controller, or RAIJU controller, not entirely sure how you pronounce it. It's going to be basically, I'm going to do a bit of gameplay. I've got Forza Horizon 4 open. I haven't played it before. I've literally just opened the game up and changed the settings, so I've got all the sound settings and graphics settings and things set up, ready for me to basically stream some gameplay. Earlier on today I actually unboxed this controller, so we're going to take a look at that now, take a look at my unboxing and my initial impressions, and then you can come back and watch me play some Forza Horizon 4 for the first time and get a review of the controller at the same time. So here I am with the RAIJU Ultimate controller from Razer. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. I'm going to go with RAIJU, maybe even RAIJU. It's got a little bit of an interesting name, but yeah, this is the unboxing basically. So as you can see, it's a blue box. They've sort of strayed away from the Razer sort of typical green packaging. Obviously, as this is licensed for PS4, they've opted to go for blue. I'm going to start off by taking a look at the outside of the box. So on the front there's a nice clear picture of the controller itself. It does definitely look like a hybrid between a PlayStation controller and an Xbox controller. So flipping it around onto this side, we can take a look at the package contents. So it looks like you get the controller itself, you get a carry case, there's a USB to micro USB cable, you've got some tilting directional pads and 2 thumbstick modules. So this is like a customizable controller, which is quite cool. I think it's very similar to the Xbox Elite controller. It's kind of like the PlayStation version of that. And then it gives you system requirements, so it works on PlayStation, works on PC, like I'm going to be testing out on my PC, and then you can also use it with an app on your mobile phone, which I think is pretty neat, and I'm going to get that connected up in a little bit. And then it also gives you the size and weight and things. The weight of the controller is 352 grams, and just for comparison, the normal PlayStation controller that weighs 210 grams. It is quite a bit heavier. And then the Xbox One controller weighs 280 grams, the Xbox 360 controller weighs 265 grams, and then the Xbox Elite controller, which is, I think this is basically the PlayStation version of, weighs 348 grams. So it is definitely sort of like heavier than those other controllers, but it is really quite similar to the Xbox One Elite controller. So let's flip it round onto the back and take a look at what other features it's got going on. So Bluetooth and wired connection. So you've got the option of using it wired or with Bluetooth. I think hopefully the Bluetooth will work well with my PC. I'm not too sure yet until I try and get it set up, but we'll find out. Interchangeable thumbsticks, D-pad, and quick control panel for customization. So definitely going to try those out. And then Razer Mech tactical action buttons. So those will be quite interesting. Sort of, I guess, the same idea as having a mechanical keyboard, but with buttons and a controller. And then ergonomic weight and shape. So obviously it does look quite a bit different to the traditional PlayStation 4 controller. And then it's got multi-function buttons and hair trigger mode. So that will probably help us out for like an FPS shooter. And then mode switch, so you can change between the different connectivity modes. And then the app configuration, so you can connect up to the mobile phone app, and then a textured grip as well. And then on the other side, I think it's just going to give us a load of sort of marketing stuff, really. It tells you about the controller and what it does and things. But let's get this thing opened up and see what we get inside the package. I'm quite excited to see what it's going to look like and what it feels like. Oh, it looks like I brought my knife along, but I might not even need it for this package. Yeah, that's quite nice. Flip it over. Okay, cool. So it looks, it comes in a carry case. Feels quite nice. It's quite solid. All right, let's put that aside for one moment and we'll just take a look at what we get in the bottom here. Okay, so that's the cable. It feels really, really nice. It's very thick braided cable. and then it's going to be, it is a micro USB connector, so no USB-C to be found here, but I guess that means maybe it holds in place a little bit better. And then that will be the USB to sort of like, I guess, charge it up or connect it to your PC or PlayStation wired. But that is a really nice feeling cable. This controller does have quite a premium price tag, so thankfully the cable does feel like it matches that. All right, let's put the box to one side and take a look at the controller itself. Oh. Wow, it's bigger than I thought it would be. I've sort of got, for comparison, next to me I have got an Xbox 360 controller and a PlayStation controller. I'll, once we've taken a look at this, I'll sort of compare it in size so you guys can also see. So at the top here looks like we get a pouch, which is definitely going to come in handy for putting that cable in. The controller comes out. Oh, it feels really nice. Okay, I'll put that to one side for now, and we'll take a look at the sort of accessories and things. So you got like Razer on the bottom. The inside of this is kind of fuzzy. It has got like a sort of fuzzy interior to it, and it's got like a foam block. And then these are our little thumbsticks. So that one I think is a shorter one. And that is a sort of like tilt version rather than the sort of like individual clicky version. So that's quite neat. And then these are a little bit awkward to get out. Come on. And then we get another thumbstick that is quite low. It's really, really shallow, and it's just sort of like domed as well. So that's quite cool. There's definitely different options to choose between. So let's put the carry case to one side, and we'll check out the controller itself. So it has got a decent amount of weight to it. It is pretty solid feeling, and it is, the top is sort of like a texture kind of plastic, but it does feel quite rubbery as well. It has a really nice finish to it. I really like that. It's quite matte. It doesn't seem to cover itself in fingerprints immediately, which is quite nice, because some of the like glossy custom controllers you can get sort of seem to be quite prone to fingerprints, but this one doesn't seem too bad. Oh, those buttons feel really good. They definitely feel a lot different to the like typical PlayStation 4 buttons. They do feel really neat. They have like a really, it does feel like mechanical. You do feel the sort of like actuation going on. The thumbsticks. Should we try change out the thumbsticks? Okay, take that one off. Okay, so it feels like they're sort of magnetic, but then they also have a little cross on the bottom as well to sort of line it up. So you line it up and then it clicks into place, and they do seem to stay in place quite well. Okay, that's like an extra long one. So you can see the height difference. There's quite a height difference between the one that it normally comes with. To me, that feels kind of uncomfortable, but I'll try it out when I'm playing Forza anyway, so we'll find out how that one feels. And then this is the sort of like domed one. Oh, there we go. That feels really weird. Really, really weird, but quite cool to have the option anyway if you want to try out some like different configurations. Maybe for different games it definitely feels a lot better. And then also this should come out as well. Oh hey, I'm getting it. There we go. I had to get my nail underneath. Okay, the whole thing comes out, and yeah, it looks like it is definitely magnetic. I'll try the new one. I quite like that. It feels pretty good. Nice. Okay, flipping it over onto the back. So it looks like we've got the typical bumpers you'd expect to find on a PlayStation controller. So the left bumpers and L2, L1, R2, L1. And then they've got some extra ones, so M1 and M2. I'm going to see what those do by default when I check out Forza, but maybe they might be bound already, or maybe we can bind them to something. And then also these triggers down the bottom here, which feel really cool. They feel very, natural to press, if that makes sense. These ones up the top here do feel slightly awkward to me because my hands aren't the biggest, but yeah, it is a pretty nice controller. I'm pretty impressed. Oh, and then on the back here, this is the switch. So you can change between the different connection settings, and then you can also turn on the hair trigger mode. So if I move, that one sort of like barely moves, and this one goes all the way. So if you're going to be trying to shoot really fast, that basically allows you to, yeah, just fire faster, I guess, whereas this one you got to sort of press all the way down. But yeah, that's quite neat that you can sort of have it interchangeable on whichever side you want to as well. But the rubber grips and things feel really nice. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. Let's get it connected up to the app and see what options we have. Okay, so I've got the app open up on my phone. It's the RAIJU Razer app, or RAIJU, or however you pronounce the name. And I downloaded it just from like the Google Play Store, or if you've got an iPhone, it should just be on the Apple Store if you've got iOS. But let's get it up and connected. So I'm going to turn on the controller. Hopefully it's got battery life. Right, that's sprung into life. So RAIJU Ultimate, next. And then turn on pairing mode. Okay, so that's flashing. Next. It connects to the phone using Bluetooth, so that's pretty neat. I have turned my Bluetooth on, and that's found it pretty quickly. Okay, so connecting. Okay, here we go. So it's opened it up. It looks like straight away we've got a few different profiles to switch between. So there is a shooter profile, which is the one that's active by default. I'm actually going to switch it to racing. I'm not entirely sure what it does. I assume it's probably going to change like the sensitivity and things. So it's like optimized for playing a racing game. And because I'm playing Forza Horizon 4 for the first time, really excited to try that out. I'm going to change it to racing. So hopefully that will make me drive a bit better. And then it looks like we can change the different settings on the profile. So if I select racing, we've got options for key mapping. So we can change what the keys do, remap them to different controls, which is pretty neat. And then also there's an option to change the sensitivity. So you can reduce the movement speed while MFB is pressed. So I think that's one of the buttons on the back. So that's probably going to work quite well if you're playing like a shooter and you've got your sniper out. It'll make it a little bit easier to aim. So that's quite cool. I'll definitely try that out a bit more once I've got it connected. And then we've got the vibration settings. So it looks on the racing profile they are set to 70%. So not like super intense vibrations, but there's definitely some there. I'm going to see if we can change those. Oh, I think the controller is vibrating on the table. Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's quite cool. So you can sort of like tell what amount you've gone for. Okay, let's change it back to 70. And then also the chroma option. So this controller does have like RGB lighting, which is pretty gimmicky, but also pretty cool. I like RGB lighting. So let's open the effects up. So this can't be changed. Let's try breathing. Okay, so we've got a color wheel, so I can choose any color of the rainbow to set the effect to. Doesn't look like the chroma lighting is currently lit up, so I'm assuming once I get this connected up to my PC, hopefully that will come to life and we can play around with that a little bit more. But the app seems to work really well. It's very smooth. It was very easy to get connected, so that's a really big plus, and it's something that you don't normally get. Like when you get a controller, like my Xbox 360 controller, this sort of getting on a bit now, it's just you get what you see basically, but this controller definitely has a lot of extra functionality to it, and of course that does come with a higher price tag as well. So I don't think I mentioned at the start, this one is going to cost £200. For a comparison, the Xbox One Elite controller, this is kind of similar to, that's going to cost £120. So if you are a PC gamer, you really have to sort of think about which one is going to be the best one for you, because obviously you're not limited to just having to buy the one that works with the PS4. You can use either the Xbox or PS4 controller. But this one does have the RGB lighting, and it does come with like an app as well, which I think is pretty neat. And obviously if you kind of prefer the style of a PlayStation 4 controller, then this would work quite well. And then If you are a PlayStation 4 console user, you don't really have much choice. You have to go for the one that works with the PlayStation, so therefore the sort of like £200 price tag kind of makes sense, I guess. And they do like the tournament edition as well, which will save you a bit of money because it hasn't got like the RGB lighting and things. Scuf also do a similar, it's called the Vantage PS4 controller. It's sort of a similar idea as this Razer RAIJU Ultimate. It's got quite a long name. Yeah, it's a kind of similar idea as this one, and it's only available in the US at the moment though, and that one retails for like $200, so it is sort of going to be around the same price point, I would guess. So yeah, it's definitely a bit more expensive than an Xbox One Elite controller, but it does have like the app and the RGB lighting and things. So I'm really excited to try this out. Like I said, I've used these controllers in the past, so this one looks like a really nice like mashup of the two. The buttons feel nicer on it. My Xbox controller definitely feels a little bit clunky and old in comparison to these two anyway. And then this one is like a step up from the PS4 controller. But I want to find out if it is worth the £200, because that does seem like a lot of money to me. But if it makes me race really well, and I win all of my races in Forza, then I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. But we'll find out in a minute anyway. So yeah, I'm excited to try this out. Let's check out some Forza Horizon 4 gameplay. So welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed the unboxing. Now I'm actually going to get to work using this controller. I'm going to start off by talking about the setup of the controller. So obviously Forza is a game that is made for an Xbox, and fortunately because of like the new like way they've changed it now, like with Windows and Xbox games, basically like cross-compatible, so it means that I can play it on my PC, which is absolutely great for me. But obviously the Razer RAIJU is a licensed PS4 controller, and at first it did actually cause me some issues. It isn't a case of like plug and play, or so to speak. The Bluetooth and everything, the controller connected really easily. And I went onto like the Steam overlay and things, and that seemed to work. And then I tried like Rocket League and it didn't really work. And then I tried like another game I had installed, like CSGO, just to see if the controls would work. And it didn't really work on any of the games that I tried it on. And I was like, oh no, it's definitely not going to work on Forza if I can't get it to work on these games. Fortunately though, I did some Googling. I came across a Reddit forum post that someone had posted that they couldn't get their controller to work with Forza Horizon 4, and I was like, oh my god, okay. Fortunately, Razer had actually commented on that, and they posted a link to a new updated driver. So when you like connect the controller via Bluetooth, it does like download a driver, but they seem to have updated it. So when I installed that driver, the Windows then detected it as an Xbox 360 controller. So they've done some sort of trickery here so that Windows thinks that this PS4 licensed controller is actually a Windows Xbox 360 controller, which means that it works, which is great. Because I was slightly worried that I wasn't actually going to be able to play this game today, and I've been really looking forward to it because it took absolutely ages to download. I opted to go for the Ultimate Edition, so I'll actually post a screenshot of like the amount of stuff that it had to download. It took ages, but I'm really looking forward to playing it. I've got the controller finally set up, it's ready to go, it works. The chroma lighting is now actually lit up as well, if you can see. It looks, sorry, I keep accidentally pressing the trigger on the back, which keeps unpausing the game. Yeah, you can see the chroma lighting and stuff is lit up. I connected it up it is connected up to the app and stuff, and I noticed that this button here is also how you can change between the different profiles. So I've got it set for racing at the moment, but by pressing that, it does switch between like those 4 profiles that we took a look at. So I thought that was quite cool. I'm trying to think if there's any other features I noticed. I think that was pretty much it. Let's play some Forza because I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this for ages. Yeah, let's do it. So I think this is just like the demo to get us started, but oh gosh, this car. Oh, it's gonna take so used to. I have not played a racing game in so long. So long. I think the last game I played was probably Dirt 3. I am absolutely terrible. I'm not sure. Oh, the controller is... I've got the difficulty set to medium, and also the graphics settings are set to medium as well. I'm gonna go quite slow, I think, actually. Oh, these cars, if I speed up, they seem to speed up as well. Oh, okay, this is gonna take some getting used to. Yeah, the last game, like car game I played was Dirt 3, and then when I was younger, I used to play Need for Speed Underground 2. Was like one of my favorites, and oh god, I'm really bad at this. And also Midnight Club. I think it was like, I can't remember which one it was. It was like Midnight Club something. It had a really long name. Whoa, that was good. The vibration definitely works on this controller anyway. I definitely felt going through that puddle, so that was pretty cool. Oh my god. I'm not sure if it's the controller or it's just me being really bad, but this car doesn't seem very responsive to my turning, I guess. I'm trying to work out if there's any sort of delay. I don't think so, because when I brake, that's pretty much instant. I think it's probably quite realistic. It's not very twitchy, basically. I'm like moving the joystick quite a lot, and it's not really doing very much. Oh, a cut screen, okay. Oh, we're changing seasons. Yeah, so one of the things I noticed, like, I haven't played a Forza game, like, ever, really. I think I might have played the original Forza Horizon when my brother had his Xbox. I'm pretty sure I played it maybe for like an hour or so, but I've never really played a Forza game. And this one just looked so good that I couldn't miss it. And I went straight in and got the Ultimate Edition because, oh god, this is so hard. Oh, you know what? I'm not even touching the controller. Oh, I don't know. That might have been a bit of a... I might actually try this controller wired if I keep having weird issues. Problem is I haven't played this game before, so I don't know if it's the controller being weird or whether it's just that bit of ice being a little bit challenging. Yeah, you know what? I'm definitely getting some sort of like weird lag, or like the controller is just cutting out. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, I've rewinded like really far back now. Okay, let's go from here. Because I was like braking and turning then, and it literally did nothing. I just went straight into the wall. I'm gonna guess it's probably not the controller, considering how many issues I've had like trying to get this controller to work before I found the right drivers. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something to do with this being a Windows game and this being like a PS4 controller. And also like using Bluetooth as well. Obviously it's not the most reliable connection for like wireless connectivity. I'm definitely gonna get, yeah, I've just gone straight through the wall. Okay, luckily I have got the cable here, so I'm going to plug it in and I'm going to switch the controller to USB mode and hope that that really sorts us out, because otherwise I'm going to be really upset because I was really looking forward to playing this game. Okay, that went in. Switch it to USB. I got the Windows USB sound in my headset, so hopefully that's going to be good for us. Oh, it's installing drivers maybe. Device is ready to go. And Forza's like hell to the no. Absolutely nothing. Okay, I'm gonna restart the game. Okay, welcome back. For you, it has probably been about 2 minutes, or well, less than that, literally seconds. For me, it has been like a 2-hour long nightmare, slightly. I don't want to be too overdramatic, but I have not had a good time trying to get this controller to work. As you can see, Forza has now turned into Rocket League. I've actually basically given up with Forza. Sorry if I repeat anything I've said, because it's honestly been that long that I can't remember what I said in like the first segment of the video. But basically, I tried to get the controller working with the cable. Putting the cable into the controller and trying to use it as a wired controller with Forza doesn't work. Forza does not detect that there is a controller plugged into the PC at all. It did eventually I tried like so many different things. Like I went online, I tried to find fixes, I tried like different software, I tried installing updates, and just restarted my PC like 4 times. I basically tried everything to get it working. Eventually I found out that the wired controller, it works with the Steam overlay, and you can play Steam games with it as a wired controller, whereas a wired controller with Bluetooth, wired controller with like Forza and like Far Cry, anything basically outside of Steam doesn't seem to work, which is pretty disappointing. But within Steam, it does work as a wired controller, and also within Steam, it seems that it doesn't have too many issues with the Bluetooth. I have sort of briefly tried it out, and I did actually record me playing with it as a wired controller, and then immediately found out that I wasn't recording the screen, so that footage was useless. So I have actually tried it out quite a bit now, but obviously you guys haven't seen that yet. So I'm gonna jump into some more Rocket League. I have tried it a little bit with wireless and Rocket League, and it seems to work fine. It doesn't seem to cut out anymore. So I think maybe the Bluetooth cutting out issue and all the issues I had are basically to do with the fact that I was trying to use, this is like a PS4 licensed controller and it's a Windows game. So hopefully my problems are solved. And I can now review this controller using Rocket League instead, which obviously is not as exciting as Forza. I was really looking forward to playing Forza, but I do have to get the review of this controller done and dusted, basically. So I'm going to play Rocket League instead. So excuse me for how bad I'm going to be at Rocket League. Like I said, I have been trying out the controller for like trying to get it to work and stuff for like over an hour. I think about 2 hours now. So I have had a little bit of practice, but I'm not very good. So let's jump straight into casual play. I'm not going to do ranked or anything because yeah, that would go really badly. But yeah, basically this controller has caused me a lot of stress and issues so far when it comes to using it with a PC, which is really unfortunate. I don't think it's the fault of the controller or the drivers or anything, because Razer's updated drivers did seem to make it work originally, but when I went to sort of like try it out again, for some reason Forza was messing around and it basically didn't want to connect anymore. It kept sort of like flicking between the keyboard controls and the controller for some reason, and there are a lot of people online that seem to have a similar issue when it comes to PS4 controllers, so, and particularly like Forza, so I think it is more the fault of Windows and Forza, and as opposed to this controller. So I think if you are like a PlayStation 4 user, or if you're going to be using this controller with Steam games, it seems to work absolutely fine if you're going to be using the Steam overlay, like Big Picture, I think they call it. It seems to work absolutely fine with that. It's just, unfortunately, if you want to play anything else with it, you're going to have a few issues, which really does suck. And I really wanted to get it working. I promise you I've tried everything to try and get it working with Forza, but I just cannot get it to work. But yeah, we're now playing Rocket League. I haven't played this game for a little while now. I used to play it quite a bit when it first came out, but I think that's got to be a couple of years ago at least. But it's a pretty good game. It's a good way to test out a controller anyway, I think, because anything with cars. I only really use a controller for playing games with cars on my PC. I seem to be having some connection issues. My internet where I live isn't the best, which is why I do live stream style videos instead of actual live streaming, because my upload speed is absolutely terrible. Okay. I think I've really hit the ball this game. I promised you earlier I did actually have a really good game, and I even scored a hat-trick, but I'm not playing that well now, which really sucks. I'm so sad I lost that footage. I've had a slight nightmare of an afternoon. But using the controller, it does feel very, very good. I really like the buttons, like the X squares, 0 and 0, X square, circle and triangle buttons do feel very good, like the sort of mech tactile, I think Razer call it. It does feel better than like your typical PS4 controller. And it looks like on Rocket League, the sort of like triggers underneath here, one of them is bound to like the boost button, so that's the circle by default. And then the other one is bound to Y, which like switches the camera. So that's quite cool. I quite like these buttons underneath actually. They're reasonably easy to accidentally press, but they do feel quite nice to press as well, like pressing the nitro. Oh, we've just conceded a goal. Damn. Yeah, the build quality and stuff does feel good. Like I said, like in the unboxing, the only real problem is that it just doesn't work that well as a PC controller, which is really, really frustrating. And I think it's kind of a similar story if you do try and use like just the original PS4 controller on a PC. A lot of the, while I was trying to find fixes for the issues that I was having, a lot of people had similar issues with just the normal PlayStation 4 controller. So like I said, I don't think it is a problem of it being the Razer controller. I just think it's just PS4 controllers and PC in general. Like obviously they are competitors, so it kind of makes sense that Windows like, no, we don't have to make it work. Enjoy your rubbish drivers, which is really annoying. So if you are a PC gamer like me and you like to use a controller, I would probably recommend, like obviously the Xbox One Elite controller is a thing. It's £120, so it's cheaper than this controller. It doesn't come with the cool RGB lighting, and it doesn't come with like the app where you can sort of rebind the keys and things, but it does work. You know you're going to plug it in, you know it's going to work with your games. You're not going to have to spend like I did, like hours trying to get it to work and then just end up having to give up anyway, which really sucked. Whereas this controller, I think, is a lot more suitable if you are just a PS4 console user. Oh, come on, let's do a slow. Oh no, I just saved it! Oh God! Oh my God! I say, please go in, please go in, please go in, please go in. Yes, that guy just saved us. I don't know why I'm getting so into this. Yeah, for £200, it doesn't make sense as a PC controller because you can buy an Xbox One Elite controller that's very, very similar for £120. However, if you are a PS4 console user, then you obviously can't use an Xbox One Elite controller, and therefore Razer sort of stepped in to fill that void and provide the same sort of functionality with all the customization and cool features and things, but it is like £200, which sounds like a lot, but it is kind of the same price as buying a really good keyboard and mouse for a PC. So I guess in that way it kind of makes sense, but it does seem like quite a lot of money for me. And then also, like I mentioned in my unboxing, there was like that Scuff Vantage controller that's $200, obviously, and that does provide the same sort of functionality as this controller, but it's not available in the UK. So yeah, I do, it's a real shame, I think, because I do like this controller. I'm definitely gonna try it out again, probably in like a couple of months' time. I'll give it another go and just see like whether it's working, whether there's like a fix to make sure that it does work on outside of Steam on the PC. Because at the oh no, I probably could have saved that. Because at the moment it does work like perfectly fine within Steam. So if you are just gonna, all the games you want to play are on Steam, and this controller will be perfectly fine. But if you are gonna want to play games like Forza or I think like GTA, I can't remember if it's in Steam. I'm pretty sure it's not in Steam. I haven't played it in ages. And like Far Cry, for example, or Assassin's Creed, like they're not Steam games, and this controller doesn't seem to work outside of Steam, which sucks. Should we play another game? No, let's go over my final thoughts. Okay, so yes, as a controller, it's a good controller. If you're a PS4 console user, I don't think you're gonna have an issue. I think for £200, it's pretty expensive, but you do get that customization. You get a nice carry case. You get like an app, which is pretty neat, so you can change the key bindings and things, which makes sense. Like when you're sat on the sofa playing laid back on your console, you've got your phone next to you, and you can change your key bindings, change sensitivity, change the lighting and stuff. It does definitely make sense. As a PC controller, I don't think it makes too much sense, especially at £200 when you can have an Xbox One Elite controller for £120 and you know it's going to work. So yeah, sorry if I sort of like rambled on a bit. I was a bit disappointed because I've been trying for ages to play Forza. I really wanted to like give you some good Forza Horizon 4 gameplay, but that's not made to be in this review anyway. I'm definitely going to play Forza. I bought the Ultimate Edition, so I'm really looking forward to playing that. I'm probably going to end up using like my Xbox 360 controller to play that, but yeah, it's an interesting one for me. I'm definitely going to try it out. Like, I have got a PlayStation 4, and there's obviously like Red Dead's coming out very soon, so it'll be good for that, I think. I'll definitely be using it on the PlayStation 4, but as a PC controller, I'm probably just going to stick with my Xbox 360 controller. Even though it doesn't feel as nice, like this does feel very nice to use. It's got a really good weight to it. It's got like extra buttons on it that you can sort of set to do some basic whatever you want. I do really like it. It looks nice, it feels nice. It just doesn't work, and like if something doesn't work, like what's the point in spending so much money on it if you can't just plug it in and play? Like the whole point of playing with a controller is just to be relaxed and chill out, and like I can swing my chair back, but unfortunately this just has caused me an afternoon of stress. But yeah, that is basically my review of the Razer RAIJU Ultimate controller. £200. Great for PlayStation 4 players, not so great if you're a PC player. If you like this video from Get Going, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't been here before, and if you'd like to see more videos, like we do reviews, we do gameplay videos, Leo likes to have a good rant about stuff now and again, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and remember there is also a bell icon as well, so you can get a notification every time a new video goes live.